Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines.
US President Donald Trump shares an image on Truth Social warning of the calm before the storm, amid reports that conflict with Iran could soon resume. The AI-generated graphic showed Trump alongside a US Navy admiral in front of stormy waters filled with warships, including one carrying the Iranian flag. Trump offered no written explanation for the post. The image appeared as Israeli media reported Trump could decide within 24 hours on possible military action against Iran. Israeli officials also warned that renewed fighting could last from several days to several weeks. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warns that Tehran is ready to resume direct military conflict with the United States if ongoing negotiations fail to deliver acceptable results. Araghchi also said the US-Israel conflict with Iran is hurting American households, citing rising energy prices, inflation, and growing economic pressure linked to disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. In a post on X, he claimed Americans are being forced to bear the rocketing costs of the war, warning that higher debt and mortgage rates could deepen the economic impact.
Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te says Taiwan's future can only be decided by its own people, stressing that the island does not belong to Beijing. Lai said the term Taiwan independence reflects the position that Taiwan is neither subordinate to nor governed by China. His remarks come shortly after the summit between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, which renewed focus on Taiwan's security and international status. Pakistan's Interior Minister, Mohsin Naqvi, has arrived in Tehran as part of efforts to help revive stalled peace talks between Iran and the United States. Iranian media say Naqvi held discussions with his counterpart on steps aimed at promoting dialogue and regional stability. The visit comes amid ongoing diplomatic efforts by Pakistan to support de-escalation following the fragile ceasefire in the region. China says agreements reached during US President Donald Trump's visit to Beijing remain preliminary, despite positive talks between the two sides. Beijing says both countries have agreed to establish new trade and investment boards aimed at negotiating tariff reductions and broader economic cooperation. The meetings between Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping focused on trade, agriculture, and investment, though few concrete details were announced.
Pakistan's military media wing, ISPR, has strongly reacted to remarks attributed to Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi, calling them an expression of bankruptcy and madness. ISPR said the comments suggesting Pakistan should decide whether it wants to remain part of geography and history were inappropriate for responsible military leadership, especially between nuclear-armed neighbors. The statement warned that any attempt to pursue such thinking would have severe consequences, stressing that escalation between the two countries would be two-sided and dangerous for regional stability. Former UK Health Minister Wes Streeting says he would stand in any leadership contest to replace Prime Minister Keir Starmer, calling for a proper contest within the Labour Party. Streeting, speaking at a Labour supporters conference, said he had stepped down and urged Starmer to set a timetable for his departure. He also criticised Brexit, calling it a catastrophic mistake and arguing Britain's future lies closer with Europe. At least 8 people were killed and 32 injured in Thailand after a freight train collided with a bus at a railway crossing in Bangkok, officials said. The impact triggered a fire that engulfed the vehicle. Rescue teams said all 8 victims were passengers on the bus. The crash also involved nearby cars and motorcycles, with firefighters battling flames near Makasan station. Authorities said the bus was reportedly stopped on the tracks at a red light when the train, carrying containers, was unable to stop in time. Investigations are underway.
Renowned Nepali Sherpa guide Kami Rita Sherpa has scaled Mount Everest for a record 32nd time, extending his own world record. The 56-year-old reached the summit while guiding climbers with the 14 Peaks expedition team. Nepal's tourism authorities have praised the achievement as a historic milestone and a major contribution to mountain tourism. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.